Alright, welcome back to Surviving as a Trader in Space. And last we left off was part 2 of rebuilding the ship, or updating the ship, adding the hammerhead-like front piece for extra weapon. And it looks pretty deadly for the most part. Look, and I think it will shred a ship down fairly easily. So we're on part 3, where we're going to add what we said, kind of like the wings or buoys, or I always forget what the name of it's called. Kind of like an extra side attachment on both sides. So initially we did say that we were going to add it pretty much right over here, but I don't think that's going to make sense actually. So I'm thinking maybe even back here would be a little bit more ideal. Unfortunately, we do have like all this that's kind of in the way too. So I don't know. I feel like there's kind of no point of adding it, but it would help with the thrusters and everything like that. Ooh. What is going on? We have a corrupt drone that's trying to hit us. And that was smart. Just ran right into the shields. Does it have weapons? Oh, ouch. Yes, it does. All right. Yeah, anyway, so I don't know. If we put it here, this is in the way. It's going to burn it down. So yeah, lots of problems here if we were going to plan to add this thing. One of the best places is here, because then that way we could build out a conveyor in here. We won't be able to put it above this because that's just kind of closed out. Yeah, this is the only way to put a conveyor here, but then we still got to cover everything else. But then that becomes a weak point too. So that's the biggest problem I'm going to have if we're going to add it here. So in this case, let me turn off build and repair really quick just to see what we can do. All right, so if we tear down this piece, and let me turn on the projector as well so we can see a little bit better. And then we tear down this piece. It just kind of exposes everything in the inside. And if we were to put a conveyor here, that's a bit of a problem, because then you put conveyor junctions, they're all kind of exposed. So I guess that would be a terrible spot to do anything in that sense as well. So we probably have to forgo that spot for sure. Is there any other spots we could do this? Probably back here. Actually, this could work because there is a conveyor right there. I would have to remove this though. And then it opens up a bit of an opening, but how high do I want it? I kind of want it up here, but I don't think that's going to be possible. So maybe it's going to be low. Actually, no, I don't want it low. I want it high. So it could be from here, or it could be somewhere towards the back. It'd be like starting from here as well, but then it's all exposed. I guess that doesn't work out. None of this really works out, to be honest. Here would be probably a decent spot. So even if you open it up and you add a conveyor here, we can still cover it up somewhat. So that wouldn't be too bad. So for an example, we cover this up with the heavy armor like this. That covers that thruster. And then you have the conveyor junction here. And then we build out from there, I guess. And we could cover it up from below as well. That could work. Potentially. Unless we build it from the top, actually. So we could have done it right here. In terms of the conveyor. I guess we could. So that we don't have to redesign this bottom piece too much. So we had the conveyor there. Then we can just put another conveyor right here. And then we build off of that. And we could get rid of this solar panel, because this is one solar panel that's going to be pretty useless anyways. So definitely don't need that. And we could build across this way. So whether we use tubes or reinforced tubes, I think reinforced tubes would probably be the better bet. We put it like this. We want to go straight. How do we want to do this? How high we want this? We probably don't want it to be too high. So we could have gone up one. I think. Yeah, let's go up one. Let's try it. I'm not sure exactly how this is gonna turn out, but we're gonna figure it out. Up one, and then we can curve it to the right here or left. The left. Kind of like that. And we work around that maybe. Or we back it up a little bit more. So for example, we do it this way first. And then we move it out this way. I think that could work. And we'll do that. And I guess this would be that enough out of the way for everything. Well, this could be the middle. Potentially. I think that could work. Alright, I'm just gonna turn on build and repair. Just make things a little easier in this case. Okay, so that's the extension of it. Now we're just gonna cover it up, design it and everything like that to make it look decent. And here, I guess we could do, if we can, it's gonna be like these big old thrusters right in the middle like that. So that could work out decently and put some weapons and everything too. So it's gonna be a big old round tubey thingy over there. But this, I need to work this out because it's gonna look ridiculous just leaving it like this. So how can we cover this up? I mean, I guess we do heavy armor blocks kind of from here to here. And just kind of cover it up this way. Whether we use, maybe we do half blocks like this. That would kind of help cover as much as we can. And plus we could have this connected like that. And that might look okay. And then we could just do this. And it's added protection. Right? I guess we could do it that way. I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but it could work. I mean, more or less, the inner part's probably not going to get shot. It's more of the outer pieces here. That's where we need to worry about it more. So I don't know. I don't even think that's gonna be decent. Yeah, we just gotta cover it all this up, basically. But the problem is this one. We can't cover this one up unless we move this ion thruster, which we could probably move it anyways. So how do we want to do this part is the biggest question. We could do this. Actually, no, that doesn't work out. Should it just be half blocks protecting this? It's kind of weak to do half blocks only. I think right here calls for this piece right here. Big old corner piece. And then if we do half blocks, I mean, it still works. It's decent protection. It's just not the best. Where it can get shot down fairly easily. But 65 steel plates and 25 metal grids. Plus another 10 steel plates. It's not terrible in terms of protection. But it's going to be a weak point. Because if this gets shot down, then we lose pretty much the whole entire piece. So obviously protecting it with a regular block would be more ideal in this case, but it'll just look very brick-like. So that's the biggest problem we're gonna have here. Here looks a little odd, but I guess we're just gonna have to do it. Is there anything we can use? I guess we could do this. Yeah. And then this here is exposed. So that's the problem. So we do need to move. I think this right here if we want to make this work a little bit better. Can we even move it? No, we can't, because this is the iron thruster right over here too. Well, that iron thruster could probably move up by 1 anyway, so that might not be the worst thing in the world. So we move the iron thruster up 1 like this, then we should be okay. Oh, we moved it too much. Alright, so it's out a little more than I want it to be because it has a battery right over here, which I don't really care to remove the battery, but it is in the way. We could leave it, I think. Shouldn't be a huge problem, hopefully. But here, of course, we could add more heavy armor. I really need to push this in there a little bit more if we can. Can we put it down here? Probably not. It's going to expose the inside. Yeah, that's not going to work. Can't believe there's a battery here. That's in the way. And what's underneath that or behind that? It's a... Okay, it's a small cargo container. Do we get rid of the battery? That's going to be moving 2 batteries. Well, I guess we could have moved the battery right over here. It's just that the problem is moving it is a little bit of a pain because we have to drain it and everything like that. But unless we don't care to drain it, then we could do it that way. But that's just, it feels like such a waste if we do it that way. All right, but I guess it's part of it, so we're just gonna end up doing that. Yeah, let's just do it. Not much we can do about that. So we'll put a new battery right here. And we'll push this iron thruster back 1, which is kind of where we want it to be. And then we can secure this piece like that and like this. We should be good there. And here, I guess we're gonna have to add a bit of protection. Nothing too crazy. Do this. And actually, we could even add the little tip here. Like that if we wanted to. Really no point, but we could. Is there a block that's like this but flat or half blocked? I feel like there isn't, but there could be. Yeah, I don't think there is a block like that. They only have these kind of blocks. All right, that's fine. We'll leave that alone. Is this a heavy armor? Yes, it is. Okay. But these are light. Okay, so that that doesn't really help its case here. But what we're doing right now is really making this ship really heavy in a way. So we gotta be careful of that as well. All right, so that's, I guess, the way we're gonna do it. So it protects that part of it. If we need to put more protection, we can. We could do this right here and then put a half block here if we wanted to. I guess we could just do it like that. And all these other spots, the corners, we can add the little corner pieces too. And then we'll figure out what to do with this. So we can add these little corner pieces everywhere if we need to. I guess we can add, yeah, we'll add this here. There. So it just kind of rounds it out a little bit. Here we don't need to do much with it. I'm okay with leaving it exposed or putting, no, that doesn't look good. Let's just add this. We just do that. It's a little bit of an issue, but it still makes it look decent. Okay, so here is a problem. Right here. Bit of a exposed piece. I guess we're gonna use the slope piece like this to make it decent. But here is another spot that's kind of open as well, so we gotta fix that. Not exactly sure how I'm gonna do that, but let's see. We gotta use that for sure, but I don't know. I guess we could add some odd pieces to it, but it's at this kind of weird transition slope here. I mean, it doesn't work out the greatest, but it will do. Yeah, it'll do. And that's exposed too, so that's not great. So this just requires me to open this up a little bit more and seal it up. So we'll just do regular blocks there. And that should be fine. And even if we wanted to make this thing even look decent, we could add, actually we could just add a thruster right there. And let me get rid of this one. Add a thruster. Why not? Alright, there we go. So that's kind of what I envisioned a bit. Not necessarily. It's looking a little bit odd, but not the worst thing in the world. It could be worse. Ooh, it would look nice to have this here too, but that's not gonna work. That's fine. I think we could use this piece here. Nope, that's not gonna work. Oh, there we go. That works. That's a nice piece. So there's a mirrored version of that and a non-mirrored one. Then I guess it would be like that. All right, we'll leave that in there. Okay, so this is kind of protected. It's not the best protection, but it's gonna do for now. I mean, it protects the ion thrust here. It's pretty bulky, but that kind of worked out okay. I mean, from afar, I can't really see much of a difference. But you can say that for a lot of things anyways. So, actually, you know what? What if we change this? Kind of building as we're going, essentially. But what if we change that to this? Just to give it that kind of divot from this block. Will it look okay? I mean, does a decent job. It's not the best, which is fine. And actually, if we really wanted to, we could add turrets here too. So there's an opportunity to add a Gatling turret here, or assault turrets, or whatever we want to do. So there's those opportunities, but I probably don't want to do that because it becomes a target. So that's the thing. Okay, so from here, we said this is the middle. We could go a little bit further, add a hydrogen tank here, which also would be a target if we did do that. But if we need extra hydrogen or whatever, we could put one right here. And that's the kind of start of the big old buoy arm right over here. I don't completely think it's necessary to do a buoy arm like that. Or a hydrogen tank over there, because then it just becomes a big old target. And if it explodes, it's going to explode. So, you know what? Why don't we do this? We're going to extend it out just a little bit more. Right over here. And then we'll add our thrust. So now the thrust piece, it's going to be hydrogen thrust. Large hydrogen thrust. Now, do we want a side thrust like this? Probably, but then it also doesn't look great. Yeah, it's not going to look the best in the world. I figure we put a large one back here, this whole section. That might actually look a little bit better. This is going to be a little bit more hidden. I think we do that instead. Yeah. So this is going to be more of forward and back. Although I feel like we don't need as much forward momentum anymore. We have a decent amount, but still we could do that way. Yeah, I mean, it should be all right. Okay, so if we did do, which thruster do we want to use? This original one or the ball one? I kind of want to use the original one. The ball one is I think one length longer, so we'll add this one right here. And we can add another one here. Do we want to extend it out? Actually, you know what? Let's not. Ooh, I might have lost some parts, but whatever. We should really bring it out by one, I think. The one here and one here. And then add it. So then now we can reinforce it just a tiny bit. So one there. One there. So that gives it more depth in terms of the ship. So now, not equal length, but it kind of helps with this design right here instead of just looking like a pickaxe. Because that's what the ship is starting to look like. And then we could design out from here. So that kind of works. We could put a assault turret out up to here as well if we wanted to. That's something we could think about. But again, that just makes this whole thing a target, which more or less wouldn't be that bad. I mean, it's got a lot of mats for it, so it probably won't get damaged that quickly. But I'm pretty sure it's going to hurt. So that's basically what I kind of want to do with this. Now, how we want to do the rest of it? Do we want to put artillery here? We could. We don't have to. We could just add in some protection blocks here. Okay, so if we do the artilleries out here, we risk losing the large hardened thrusters, which costs a lot to repair. That's the biggest problem I see here. But it would definitely help in terms of being armed a lot more. So, I don't know. Let's design out a little bit first, because I think these things are going to get in the way and start shooting our own ship. I think if we do add a few, or maybe just one right out here, wouldn't be terrible. But we gotta design this out first before we even think about doing that. So this looks decent, and the rest of it needs to be covered up a bit. So we're not gonna leave it exposed like this for sure. Oof! I just realized this is on the cusp of it. Maybe we remove this one entirely and figure that out into a different piece. I mean, it should be okay for where it is, I think, right? It's about 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away. That might not be great. It might need to be moved, but I don't even know where to put that at this point. Which we could put it right here. I don't see why not, unless this exposes our ship. It kind of does, but we could always put a plate to cover it. That would be terrible. I guess we could do that. Yeah, let's just do that. So we'll remove this one. We could have left the battery there. Oh well. We'll put the thruster here. Like so. That looks terrible though. Yeah, I'm not liking that. It looks better here, but again, it's just on the cusp of this, so that's not great. And I can't put it here because the thruster's right here. But of course, it can move up by 1. So I guess we're going to have to do it that way. But also, that means we could have just left the thruster where it was before. Alright, so then that now is lined up perfectly. So then we shouldn't be having a problem anymore there. But actually, it still might, based on what I built in terms of blocks. Actually, we might, should be okay. Yeah, that should be okay. So I was thinking of putting some extra blocks out here as well. for extra added protection. So it's gonna be like, you know, half blocks going out here, kind of like that. And then at the very tail end, we have something like this. But with that iron thruster now over there, probably ain't gonna work out the best like that. Because now it's on the cusp again for that one piece. That doesn't really work out the best. I'm gonna add this piece here. I mean, in the innards, I've done this before too. It looks okay. You could do it this way, where the outer one is a little longer than the inner one. Yeah, that should be okay. It wouldn't be too bad. And then I guess we could add this if we're gonna do an artillery turret. Should we do it that way or do it right over here actually? Do we want to put an artillery turret out here? What do we do? Assault cannon. How many artilleries do we have? We have 2. Maybe we do an assault instead. Artillery might be a little much, right? We add it right here. The 3x3 blocks that we add it right there. Actually, that wouldn't be terrible. It would look a little bit better if it wasn't like this though. So maybe we have to add it from here. Yeah, I think that's gonna work better. And again, this is just all added protection for the thruster itself. I mean, it's not the best protection in the world, obviously, because you still have this exposed. Although we could cover it up with some additional blocks too, so that wouldn't be too bad. But for now, we leave it like this. Right, so I think that's gonna be it right here. It's a little bit of too much like random pieces, like these little corner blocks and everything like that. It still keeps us a little exposed, but I mean, it's not that bad. Bad enough, but it's not that bad. And honestly, I think even if we did like put a block here, the thruster is gonna be fine. Because I think the thruster is gonna be right in the middle right here. Obviously, I'm not gonna put anything there, but it's fine. But yeah, this should be okay. We could add in these little pieces here for all the corners. I guess we could do that, but that's gonna be a very, very tedious thing to do. Would it look decent? Yeah, it does kind of look okay. Would add a little bit of protection as well. So okay, I guess we go ahead and add that for the whole entire thing if we can. All right, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Okay, so definitely needs coloring as well to make it look decent. It's pretty protected, not completely protected, but good enough, I think. Some of the coloring, I think it would be, we'll just go with the basic blue that we've been going with, but it's gonna be, I guess, striping it this way would be the best look of it. Yeah, it's looking too bad. And there's an opportunity to add, salt cannon up here or Gatling and everything like that too. And down here as well. That's what makes this a good piece of addition for our ship. But now my biggest problem is how am I going to mimic the same exact thing on the other side, because it has a lot of random little detail stuff on here. So that's going to be a bit interesting when we start adding it on the other way. Yeah. All right, we could leave it like this. We could put a little bit of yellow right over here if we want to. I think that would look decent. Let's try it. Just this accent piece here. Okay, there we go. That kind of works. Yep, that works. And again, we could put more weaponry here because it has its conveyor junctions right in here, so we should be okay to do that. So if we do need to add more weapons, we have the opportunity to do so. So other than that, I mean, it's just looking too bad. We have opportunity to add more thruster back here as well if we need to, but I don't think we need it because now we have a large hydrant thruster up here. We need to add it on the same thing on the other side, which is going to be a pain because we have to mimic everything on that side. But I guess we could take care of that as soon as possible. But before we do that, we got to add or move things around. So like this thruster needs to be a little bit forward. So we'll probably speed it up, but we're just going to kind of rebuild on the other side. Same thing we did here. All right. There goes the second piece, the right side of it. I think I got it down packed where it's completely symmetrical. I believe. I could be wrong, but it should be right. And I did a little bit of coloring there. I missed a few spots, actually. So we'll color that. And I think we got all the way up to here. But most certainly giving it a little bit of color would help. It does help a lot in terms of the look and feel of the design. Just making it bland white ain't not gonna really do too much to the look and feel of the ship. So adding the little bit of the blue and yellows definitely helps out a lot. All right, there we go. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more just in case, just to make it look decent. And there we go. We got both wing pieces, buoy arms, slightly exposed with the thrusters. I'm okay with that for now until it gets really bad. And yeah, large hydrant thrusters, artillery turrets. That's the big addition to this. We could actually make this a little more, what's it call it as well. We really wanted to. So instead of doing something like this, kind of do it this way and then put it straight from here like that. I'll leave it for now. I don't think it's necessary to do something like that. Yeah, it should be fine. But I think we got it kind of the same on both sides. I hope we did, actually. So it's a little hard to tell. Right here, actually. It's a little off. Actually, I like this over this smooth piece. So we'll add that there. And it really should be symmetrical, but I could have missed something. Everything should be fine. Everything should even be connected. So let's just double check. When we double check, that is the artillery. Yeah, it's got artillery shells, so we should be good. Now the problem is we're extended out to the when we're parking here. It's gonna be extended out right over here with the wing system. So we're gonna have to reduce this whole platform a little bit. So when we park, we're not gonna be crashing right into it. So I guess we gotta edit this out a little bit. Guess we do that for now so we don't crash right into it. It doesn't matter if we crash into it anyways, but there we go. We got a nice buoy arms wing system for our ship. That's looking pretty good. Well, it's quite hard to see in that direction. But these should be on. I didn't calibrate everything just yet, and I didn't do anything with this. So let me fix this up. So we just got to put in turn our projections on. So anything that we missed previously will be kind of remade. Which I'm okay with these kind of being remade. It's just extra blocks to keep us protected anyways. They're all light armor blocks though, so not a big deal. Oop, I didn't fix this side actually with this thruster here. So we need to do that as well. So all these little things that we try to perfect here with the ship, cover as much as possible. Looks like this is gonna be, and of course we're gonna have to reproject this whole entire thing so that we have it perfectly fine. There we go. That should be it for that. Although this looks a little terrible, we could get rid of this. Actually, you know what? We could have just plugged it right into it with a block. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. Well, not this. A full block right there. That should do it. Oh, wait. It's different on that side. Why is it so different on that side? Why I did the wrong one, actually. Yeah, I did the wrong one. There you go. That's better. This piece should actually be a half block. And there we go. Okay, so that should be it. So we moved a few things around, so we gotta recalibrate everything in terms of the controls. Side thrusting is gonna be a problem. We need to make big ones for side thrusting, and I think the best spot is all in the back right here. How much of this is gonna take? Okay, so we have to build it like kind of around here. How's that gonna work? Let's see. Well, let's take off the projector again. For now, we need a 3x3 spacing, and we need to not expose it too much. So our center could be here. Where can our center be? Or right here. Our center could be right here. It can't. There's something in the way. So our center is gonna be here. Actually, we can't even do it. So actually, nope, that's not gonna work either. Unless we extend it out a little bit more. So the plan was to bring it all the way in, so it doesn't stick out too much. So it would have been kind of like plugged in right over. Let's just say if I could do it right here, so it doesn't stick out too much. So we can't do it because there's a hydrogen tank over there in the way. So I guess we get rid of these here first. And we'll probably have to extend it out a little bit more, just a tiny bit. Ooh, I got heavy armor back here too. Interesting. I actually thought it was going to be all light armors down there, but I guess I kind of thought it through. Anyways, this needs to go. That's a conveyor. So I want it to be in one more. Can we put it in one more? We could. Okay. So get rid of this one. And, ooh. So now if I put it in one more, we conflict with having the hydrogen tank right over there. That's going to be a problem. So maybe we don't connect it directly to the hydrogen tank. I'm okay with not connecting it directly. Hey, don't fly away, don't fly away, don't fly away. Oh, the mat's gonna fly away anyway. Okay, so I guess we could connect it from here, which isn't a problem. It helps because the up and down thrusters are still here. I don't want to get rid of them either, so we'll just do this. And we'll extend this out a little bit more, but the plan was to put a hydrogen thruster right here if we can. Right into that connecting point right there. And then we'll design it from there. Yeah, that works. So more or less from here, we could have just left it alone with the thruster and everything like that. Although we don't really need it because we are planning to put a large thruster there anyways. But might as well keep it. I don't see why we shouldn't. All right, there we go. So we got the large thruster right there. So we just got to build around it a bit. We're going to get rid of this one. Oop. We're going to get rid of this one to build it out a little bit better. And by building out a little bit better, it's more stylistically and design-wise. So that it doesn't look like, you know, the side thrusters are kind of like in an odd spot and everything like that. And then the one over here in the back, we don't actually need one anymore. Yeah, that's true too, because we have two up there. Adding a third, I mean, it'll be helpful, but it'll be a lot too. But I really don't see why we shouldn't just add one. It should be fine. Yeah, add it kind of, I don't know if we should do it this way. Yeah, that's fine. Right connected to that like this. Yep, that's perfect. So that's how we want that to be. And of course, we're going to have to extend all these pieces out and everything like that. But we got to design this first before we think about doing that. Should we be out one more, actually? It might be easier to design if it's out one more. Yeah, let's just put a placement for it for now. Yeah, it would definitely work a little bit better in terms of designing if it's out one. Yep, that'll be better. Okay. So the inner piece here is it's all connected, so that's fine. But we have a lot of piping here for whatever reasons. And there's a lot of empty space inside here for some reason. So I guess we could kind of situate all that out a little bit. Why it's flashing a little too crazy. We could leave it empty. We could put something here like a hydrogen tank, but I don't think we necessarily need another hydrogen tank. Do we? We have what, 4? We put a 5th one. It kind of fits here, but it also becomes a bit of a big old exploding piece that we might not want back here, but it would help. I guess when it comes down to it and we need it, I would put it here. But for now, I'm going to forgo it. I don't think it's necessary. I'm just going to leave it kind of empty and build it out like that. That's fine. I mean, are we going to do heavy armor up top here? Most of it's light. We should probably do heavy armors for sure. We should probably mimic that piece and go over it. Actually, no. We're going to work from this direction first. I don't know if I want to work with heavy armor or not in this case. We probably should just keep it protected. And we could do the same exact design or a little bit different for the rear. I'm not exactly sure what my plans are going to be for this, but we're just going to do it anyways. And hopefully come up with something pretty good, pretty cool. But we need to cover this up. So what if we just did same design from up here, just to go this way, cover up as much as possible. We do that. That could kind of work, but not really at the same time. Kind of looks odd. Yeah, it's difficult to cover up exactly the same way, but we could just go with the same design there and cover it up that way. And that would be decent. Decent coverage. It's going to be exposed, but not by too much. So I'm okay with that. That's not terrible. We got to do the same for back here. And that's a little different down there, where we have it more of a slope like this. Should be okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep with the design. It's not the best, but it's gonna have to work. And for some reason I have a slope block here. We'll just copy it. Not a big deal. Oh, cover that up. We should cover that up as well. We can just do it that way. Alright, so it's just like random sharp pieces for whatever reasons. We just leave it like that. I guess we go for the lazy build in this case. And if we could close it out the same way, that'd be great as well. So yeah, we'll do that. All right, so we spent about 2 hours building up the ship, and the scary thing is that we are out of uranium, and our batteries are actually pretty low at one point in time too. So now they're recharging and gaining some more power, but I think we were at like 50%. No, 45. It looks like 45% batteries, and we would have been done with the shield in 45 minutes, roughly. I think it was, because this thing does suck up a lot of power. Right now, we're doing 65.20 MW, so that's a lot. But luckily, we do have tons and tons of batteries. But when I look at the batteries, they were only at 1 bar per. That was a bit scary, as you see here. Which, it's still not that bad. It's half. A little less than half in terms of power. So it would have upkept it a bit too. So the shield is quite expensive. Kind of upkeeping it with the uranium and everything like that. But we are done for today, I think. 2 hours of building, redesigning the ship, roughly. Got my big old side thruster here. I think I could have put another thruster here, but we're not going to do that today. And these should be operational. Yep, there we go. We do need to kind of reprogram all this and everything like that as well. But all this should be connected. This one may not be connected. I'm not sure. Let me come in from the back. I could. All right, perfect. Yeah, that's connected. So we're good. So a little bit of a lazy design back here more than anything else. There's a mix of like light armor and heavy armor blocks for whatever reasons. But I'm just going to add this for fun. So like I said, it's a bit of a lazy build back here, and we're gonna keep it like that for now. I mean, the back is not like significant in terms of necessarily needing it for design purposes. I just need it to be operational in terms of the thrusting power. I could have maybe even put a downward thrust and upward thrust big one right in between everything too. Probably should have thought about doing that so you could maneuver a little bit better, but we'll save that for next time if anything. So we have our ship finally upgraded, part 3 finished with our ship redesign. It's gonna change up sooner or later as well too. I mean, we're not gonna keep it exactly like this. We're gonna evolve it consistently, or constantly, not consistently. We definitely need more ion thrusters. Although that again is more expensive to do because of the access of thruster components in platinum and things like that. But we should add a few more back here, technically, if we want to be more maneuverable. Yeah, for sure, we could probably add a few more back here. Plenty of space to do it too, like right over here, potentially. I don't know. There's a lot of spots, but honestly, don't even know how this thing flies, so we're just gonna jump right into it and also redesign a few things too. Or recalibrate some stuff. We need to reproject everything as well. So lots to do still, but I mean, more or less that's not the things you need to see me do. All right, weapons are on, so we can get rid of the what's we call it over there. I'm gonna unlock. Fly a bit to the side here. Once I get out, I'm pretty sure the ship is gonna shoot down that corrupt drone that's near us, so let's just get outside. And we'll waste all our firepower on this thing. That's a lot of firepower. And it should be on its way. See you later. Okay. We need to project this thing. Our mush ship, which we should probably name it something else. If you have a decent name for it, let me know down in comments. Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so we're gonna go to projector. We're gonna it's off. We can turn it on and put the blueprint. Grab the latest one. And we're good to go. So anything that breaks, we can easily fix up, no problem. Actually, I should have did all the groupings first before I did that, so then it saves the groupings if this thing ever breaks. Actually quite the ship. One of my biggest ships yet, I believe. The tailpiece here, it definitely needs a better design, but we're okay with it for now. All right, projector. Go back to projector. Change out the blueprint for this one here. So this is my 23rd version of a ship. And with the projector, it tells us the stats too. The projector is out of bounds. Everything's completed. All right, so the ship itself here, made up of 2,151 blocks, tons of conveyors, 89 thrusters. They didn't realize that. 10 lights and everything like that. Yeah. Of course, no gravity generator and things like that, but it's okay. What happens if we put sensor and mass on here and show pivot point? Where am I gonna see anything? I see a little bit of a dot right here. So is that the center? I want to say yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know what that does. I actually don't play around with these too much, so it is what it is. But the ship is ready to go. We're ready for battle if we need to. We probably just need to buy a little bit more ammo if we can. I think we still have a good chunk of money. Yeah, 169. We had 180 mil, but we had to spend on uranium for our base for the shield upkeep, which is still not too bad. Do you have ammo for sale today, sir? No. That's fine. We dismantled rockets, so we should be able to make a few, I believe. But in terms of our base, what do we have left in the cargo container? Do we have anything that we need? Ammo wise and things like that? Doesn't look like it. We got decent reactor components and thrusting components. Obviously, that's not enough to make one large ion thruster, so it's rough. That gets really rough to make. And we're good here. Safety zone, we have 17. We're still creating construction components. Actually, we don't have any construction components in here, do we? No, we don't, but we should be able to make it, I believe. Construction components. Yeah, we're good to. I'll make like 500 or so. And then ammo-wise, we should be able to make more ammo. Can't make all of it, but we can make a decent chunk. The corrupt strike drone is still out there. 900 away. I could just go to it and see what's up. And hopefully it doesn't kill me, but it might. I don't think it has weapons, to be honest. It shouldn't. Well, hard to say. Let's see. Nope. No. Well, it does have weapons, but it's not shooting, so that's... There's a turret right there, but it's not shooting us. That's good. Probably wants to shoot us. But I'm gonna steal your items here. Oh, that just filled me up all the way. I forget, is this thing on reactor power? No, it's on battery powers and O2H2 systems. Alright, that's not that bad. We could bring it back if we wanted to. Not going to. Looks like we have little scraps and things around. So I think the next mission is going around collecting all the scraps with a gravity collector. Did I add the mod in here for that yet? No, I did not. So I do need to add that, and then we can add it into here. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more stuff, or gather a little bit more stuff from this thing, and then pretty much call it a day from there. We did a lot of building, and the ship's looking decent. Not too bad. Oh, ooh, that just split in half. Was not expecting that. That kind of works out a way in some ways. Bit of a rocket launcher here with no rockets. Okay. Fireworks. The O2H2. It might go crazy if it has ice. Just a tiny bit, not much at all. We'll take it anyways. I mean, we don't need a lot of the parts here. just gonna grab what we can. Thruster components, more or less more important than anything else. Only one per one of these anyways, but still, it's worth gathering, I think, than not gathering it. Because they are quite expensive. Oh, here's one that's not too bad. It's 12. And the ship is pretty much falling apart now. Okay, I think I grabbed all that we can. Yeah, that's good enough. You let this float around, no big deal. Yep, need to add the gravity collector, I think it was called. And that way we could run around grabbing all the scrap that's all over the place. I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch. I can check as well, obviously. Then we went to admin screen and went to like entity list. And we have like a bunch of floating items. Even ice. Okay, I'm not sure why that is. There's a lot of stuff floating around out here. Bunch of scrap, as you see here. Wow. So it looks like it's all in kind of like one spot too, for whatever reasons. Probably I should trash remove everything, but we're not doing that right now. So there is a lot of materials out there. Alright, so that's pretty much it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the build process. Part 3, we're finally done with upgrading our ship for now. We should be a little bit more maneuverable, obviously, with all the thrusters that we add here. We need to protect a little bit more. We have the opportunity of adding more weapons if we need to up here and down on the bottom. Same thing. Put some assault rifle, assault cannon, things like that if necessary. We did unfortunately have to make it a little longer because of the side thrusting here. It should give us a little bit more mobility, but I mean, it's not too bad. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe, drop a comment down below, even to say hi. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.